politics over the Prime Minister's presence at the SCO Summit. Congress Member of Parliament Gaurav Gogoi says Prime Minister Modi standing last shows India in bad light. That's the reference to the photo opportunity that happened. And in that picture, Prime Minister Modi's presence there in the last row is something that Gaurav Gogoi is raising questions about. He says Prime Minister standing last shows India in bad light. I think this is what the reference is to, but they were all standing in one straight line, and when they start walking, Prime Minister can be seen walking behind the other leaders. That's what Gaurav Gogoi is referring to. But Shehzad Poonawalla of the Bharatiya Janata Party has also reacted. This is what Gaurav Gogoi said: a poor show at the beginning from Ministry of External Affairs and the Prime Minister. Our strong nation India is positioned at the extreme end. That's and balanced by Pakistan at the opposite end. So India and Pakistan at the two sides of that photo op that happened. Gaurav Gogoi says that this is a bad start by the Ministry of External Affairs. This should have been taken care of. Arun Dhanta and Abhishek Jha are tracking this story. Arun Dhanta, any reaction from the government or from the party on this tweet by Gaurav Gogoi?
Well, we've just got a tweet from Shehzad Poonawalla, who's the national spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Party, and hitting out at the Congress Party and Rahul Gandhi, saying that, if I quote his tweet, is Rahul ji showing lal aankh by signing MOU with China or by eating Chinese food with them during Doklam? Did his family show lal aankh by giving us Aksai Chin by Chinese Canada into Rahul Gandhi? So this is the reaction which is coming. This is a response rather coming from the BJP side to what is the Gaurav Gogoi's tweet. And we had seen Rahul Gandhi had faced even criticism as well in the past. Especially BJP had taken up this issue very aggressively. The meeting which Rahul Gandhi had earlier with the Chinese ambassador. So now once again Shehzad Poonawalla is hitting out at Rahul Gandhi, raising all these points and questions.
I'll just request you to stay on with us from the BJP. We also have Shehzad Poonawalla joining us here on the broadcast. Shehzad, good to have you on the broadcast with us. Your reaction to what Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi has said about the Prime Minister standing, he's saying, last shows India in bad light.
Frankly, it doesn't merit more than a tweet in response to the intellectual bankruptcy of the Congress. But since Mr. Gaurav Gogoi is all about pictures, I've put out a couple of pictures of Rahul Gandhi signing an MOU with the Chinese and also eating Chinese food with them during the Doklam crisis. Perhaps Gaurav could explain what that symbolizes. Perhaps he could explain how the first family gave up Aksai Chin, 37,000 square kilometers, how they gave up Doom, Cheli, Tia Pangnak, Chabji Ghati and all other 600 incursions that took place between 2010 to 13, how they allowed the trade deficit to rise 33 times during their tenure, and how they did nothing except to take Chinese chanda into the RGF, Rajiv Gandhi Foundation. Perhaps those could be explained. But, it's very sad that politics is played over an issue of protocol, which is decided by the host country. Anybody with basic intelligence knows that the protocol is decided by the host country. And therefore, to play politics over an issue like this only shows the intellectual bankruptcy of the Congress party. I'm sad that he represents us in Parliament. Perhaps he could have made a better argument, but while he's at pictures, those pictures which I've tweeted, perhaps he could pick them up and ask Rahul Gandhi a few questions.
Shehzad, quickly also, is it even fair to have politics over a summit where India actually is being lauded even globally, considering the fact it's not easy because the SCO in many ways is being seen as an anti-West stance? So considering the fact that India has still managed to take all its allies together and have that balancing act, are these politics even fair?
Well, absolutely right, Dima. Today, India is at a position of strength, a position of strategic autonomy. It's a Naya Bharat ka Naya Atmavishwas, where we are balancing pragmatism and moral considerations, securing our energy security needs, our trade needs, our needs for regional security and cooperation. And at the time when two world crises, India has been leading from the front, whether it's the COVID crisis or even the Ukraine-Russia crisis, the entire world looked at India to be the country that could provide some moral leadership in this entire crisis. And at a time when India is being celebrated, next year we are going to have G20. We have been part of G7, G20, other groupings like Quad, and we are part of SCO. So appreciating this new Bharat and new Bharat ka Atmavishwas, you have Gaurav Gogoi, a relic of the past politics, trying to use a picture decided on protocol by the host country to play petty politics because he has to, as compulsion, keep Parivar above national interest.
Shehzad, lastly, before I quickly let you go also, what would the message be from the BJP to the Congress at this point?
Why don't you ask your leaders about the MOU that you signed with China?
Okay, Shehzad, we leave the conversation there. Political war of words that has now erupted after that comment that was made by Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi questioning the